Hey everyone, so as you guys know, the European Union is planning to adopt Article 11 and Article 13, which pretty much removes any fair use from the internet. So this means that you won't have any Let's Plays, you won't have any sort of reviewing products, anything that is basically not your content, that you are not making yourself, is going to be in violation of some copyright. And I was thinking about what YouTubers like myself can do regarding all of this. Because obviously it's going to affect the quality of the videos that we have on our channel. Simply put, we just can't afford to use things that are fair use anymore, because anyone could then just file a copyright claim and, take down your channel because you violated it. So the main issue is we need to find out how this law is going to be applied first, because no one knows. For example, no one knows if this law is going to be applied retroactively. Normally legislation does not get applied retroactively, but this is the EU, so at this point it wouldn't surprise me, right? It really wouldn't shock me. And if that's the case, I guess I'll have to delete my entire channel. Like, all of my videos are going to have to be taken down, because pretty much every single video is going to be in violation of a copyright law. Whenever I show a news article, whenever I do a video response to someone, hell, probably even when I show a meme, that's going to be viewed as a copyright claim. And this won't affect just me, by the way. I mean, it's going to affect every YouTuber within the European Union. I mean, hell, it's going to affect PewDiePie. Anyone that used any sort of material that used to be considered free use up till now is going to be in jeopardy, because there is going to be no more free use. And you're not even fighting against the government with this. It's just other people that are going to file a copyright strike against you. And some people can even do it out of malice. Like, you can have a gaming company that, wants promotion and allows everyone to stream their game. But because you are caught in a scandal as a big YouTuber, because you said something controversial, they might decide to just file a DMCA against you. And we already have a previous case of it, again with PewDiePie, when he said nigger, right? He said nigger, and because of that, a game development company decided to file a copyright strike against PewDiePie's channel because he streamed one of their games, and he had their approval to stream it to begin with. The only reason this managed to stand is because PewDiePie actually didn't want to sue them. They didn't want to file a counterclaim. But nowadays, with the new legislation, PewDiePie would not have any legal stand and legal framework to file a copyright claim, because free use just doesn't exist anymore. So any game reviews, like maybe you're reviewing someone's game and it turns out to be bad, and you want to give them a low grade, you're not going to be able to do that. Any sort of movie criticism, any sort of Let's Plays, everything is going to be down. So this is one of the problems. And the question is, are we even going to get to that? Because it's highly possible that social media, Google, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, they're just going to pull out of the EU. This is one of the possibilities that might happen. As I understand it, the EU forces them to take down extremist content within an hour, and YouTube and Facebook, they don't have a problem with that, because they already have AIs in place. And in fact, this will actually destroy their competition. This will just demolish their competitors, because they don't have the money to purchase the AIs that Google and Facebook have. So they actually enjoy that. They like the fact that the government is forcing them to take down extremist content within an hour of its posting. However, regarding the copyright issues, well, that might not be something that they're happy with, because if they start getting sued left and right because someone uploaded something that used to be considered fair use, and we're talking here like even snippets of newspapers, like the title of an article, or the picture of an article, or a meme or anything like that. Now that is going to be a lawsuit, they might not want to do with that. We know Google already pulled out from Spain because they had a similar legislation. I believe Germany was trying to push a similar legislation, and they Google didn't like that very much. But they have been pulling out of countries, like Google News has pulled out of Spain because of them having a similar legislation. And not only that, because they had a similar idea with the link tax, actual mainstream media outlets were suffering because of it, because people just didn't talk about their articles, they weren't directing traffic to them. So all in all, it was bad for everyone. It's no surprise that Vice and The Verge just don't like this new type of legislation. I think even the BBC, that's really pro-EU, I think even they had an article that was like, maybe this is not such a good idea. Like, if even the BBC, one of the most pro-EU outlets out there, mainstream outlets out there, doesn't like it, you kind of understand where this is going, right? So anyway, I know I made the title of the video, which seems clickbaity, but it's not, right? Like, let's assume that that Facebook and Google doesn't pull out, and let's assume that indeed all fair use on YouTube is going to go away. Now, I personally don't want to leave my country, right? I mean, if it comes to the fact that I can't do my job anymore and entertain you, because that's pretty much what I am at this point. I'm an entertainer, and I present the news to you guys, putting a small funny spin on it. I can just move to Moldavia, right? It's like a 1 hour drive. It's a country outside the EU. I'm sitting very close to the border, and I can just stream from there, right? For me, it's easy. But I'm thinking about other YouTubers. You know, what can they do if they're going to sit in their own countries and they're going to want to continue, you know, doing what they're doing? Well, for Let's Players, I don't know what to say. But for people like me that are doing political commentary, you're just going to have to Styxenhammer it. That's what you're going to do. Like, this type of video is the only type of content that you're going to see. Coming from me, at least. So if you don't know who Styxenhammer is, he's a really great YouTuber. You know, he's got insightful commentary on many of the things happening, mostly in the United States, but sometimes he comments on Europe as well. And it's just him showing his face on the camera, sometimes without a shirt. And he just talks about, you know, what went on in the news. He gives his own opinion on it. But he never shows the article. He never actually talks about something with a picture in the background. You know, Tim Pool does it as well. Tim Pool, another great YouTuber that I like to follow. He usually talks in front of the webcam, but he also shows the article sometimes. You know, he just has like the screen cutting up and he's showing the article going next to him. And that is something that he will, I guess, need to stop doing. Or never mind, he doesn't need to stop doing that because he's from the United States. Like, this does not affect people in the US. In fact, YouTubers from the US might actually be very happy about it. In a way, right? Because their content is just going to be far superior than a YouTuber from the EU. Like, they can still use whatever content they want. The copyright laws is going to be applied to them unless it's going to be a YouTube site-wide thing, you know, like if they're going to say, well, we can't just have different policies from the United States and different policy for the EU. All of you on our platform have to abide to these policies. And it's something that already happened, by the way, like when Germany decided that extremist content needs to be taken down. I believe it was within a day. I think it's now within an hour. If people from Germany flag a video, if people from Germany report a video from the United States, it's going to be put on the top of the list. It's going to get, just almost as if a trusted flagger is reporting it. Just so to make sure that it complies with German regulations. So even if you're in America, it affects you. I don't even know, like, if maybe certain videos will not be available. Like, again, we don't know anything about how this is going to be enforced. But the thing is, like, you as an American should be able to post whatever you want because you operate under different copyright legislation, one that actually makes sense and is not done by insane people. But for us, you know, like, if we're going to watch, let's say, Tim Pool talk about an article from The Guardian, that is, copyright infringement for a European. So maybe Tim Pool's video is going to get blocked in certain states, blocked in certain countries. And, Americans might laugh and think it's funny, but for an American YouTuber, you're losing half of your audience. Like, you're using a big chunk of the people that want to watch you. So you're losing revenue. You're losing people that would pay you super chat. You're losing people that would click on your videos and give you ad revenue. You're probably losing Patreons as well, because most people will not be able to follow your videos if you're, infringing European Union copyright. So this might be a soft way, a way to influence certain YouTubers, in order to self-censor. It's like, well, do you want to make money on YouTube? Well, you need to attract the European audience as well. It's not just the American one. You need to attract the European. And if you want to attract the European, there's certain things you can't show. There's certain things you can't do. So it's, again, the only solution is to Styxenhammer it. Put on a pretty face. Shirt is optional, I guess. And then just go in front of the camera and keep blabbing about the topic. And make sure there's no cuts. Make sure there's no edits. That's also part of the Styx brand. It adds a little bit of quality. I personally can't do it. I guess it takes years of training, of meditation, going into the mountains and drinking the lotus flower or some shit, in order to make sure that you don't babble when you're making a video or lose your train of thought. That's about all. Peace out.